Hello, everybody. As you start joining in, I would like you to maybe announce what your favorite fish is. Cooper, what's up, buddy? I'm hoping to actually have a handful of people in here today. I got a couple people from my group. I'm hoping that they'll hop in. I want anybody and everybody who sees this live stream to hop in and talk fish. If you want to be up on the screen, you want to be up on the screen, you want to show off your fish tanks, let me know. I'm going to try to drop the link here real soon. I'm going to put it there. And anybody who wants to be up here on the live screen and show off what they got going on, feel free to do so. I asked you guys to give me a couple minutes as I try to invite some people, and I got to take a restroom break. So hang out. Let's start getting some comments rolling. Give me just 2 minutes. Thank you very much. Cooper, you're the man. Kendall's Aquatics.
We're out here filling tanks.
Hey,
guys. Hey, we're out here filling tanks, trying to get the fish room going.
Yeah, all right. I'm actually going to let you guys kind of have the stream for a minute. I got to go use the restroom real quick. And Calvin's supposed to be joining up. AJ's supposed to be joining up. And I don't know who else is going to be joining up. Everybody who watches this after the fact, this is Kendall's Aquatics. Y'all need to subscribe to them. You need to check them out. They got their whole setup going on. They got a little bit of everything. So I appreciate anybody that's watching. Be sure to go check out Kendall's Aquatics. Let me go use the restroom, and we'll jump into these fish tours and talk everything fish. Thank you very much, everybody. Give me 2 minutes.
Thank you. Hey guys, we're just we're making a fish room out in our garage, and so we worked on overflows and a sump yesterday, and so today's the big day. We're putting water in tanks. We're hoping to at least start the sump up tonight and let it run overnight, make sure there's no problems. And then we're gonna work on getting fish moved out.
Hit music for generation
Radio on
G.
his.
Come get some of this.
Today's hit music.
But anyways, we got a
Weird
rack. It's got 3 levels.
G1013.
We got 29s on the bottom and then 2 rows of 10s. So exciting.
Are we the only ones on there?
I don't know how you tell who all's watching.
Oh.
It doesn't give me a list. It just says him and us are on the feed.
Calvin's Fishy Life. Hey, buddy. Give me a second, and I will send that invite to be able to let anybody and everybody get up on the screen. It ain't about me. It's about everybody.
Sweet.
I'm still new to using this StreamYard and stuff, y'all. Like, last night.
Yeah, this is our first time using it.
I got AJ, one of our admins, as I'm sure you know, to hop on here, and that was awesome. I'm just not quite sure how I done it. Oh, okay, yeah. Copy the clipboard, and then I should be able to go to chat. AJ or Calvin, give me 1 minute. Muppet, what's up? You came by. I appreciate you. Maybe we'll get it popping. I got a couple people, obviously, Kendall's Aquatics up there. They're setting up their new tank or fish room. They're going to have fish for sale and whatnot here probably pretty soon. So, yeah. Calvin, I just put that link in the comments. If you click on that, it will give you the steps to follow to be able to, you'll be put in the background, and I'll have to invite you or accept you to the actual up screen. And once you get on there, then what we'll do is we'll let Amanda at Kendall Aquatics go ahead and like do her run through tour, and then we'll go throughout the thing. Vinny's Aquatics? What? Vinny, you're popping in for one of my streams. What's up, buddy? This is awesome, guys. I did not expect anybody, well, not that many people right off the get. I hope plenty more people come. I know Aquarium Co-op, Corey, the guy, he was live, so I knew I wasn't going to interfere with that. But maybe people ain't got nothing else to do, and maybe they want to check out some like down to earth, real personal tanks. This is real people. We ain't big names, but we enjoy the hobby nonetheless. So, you know.
Yep, we're by no means rich. We're just common people working a full-time job, trying to enjoy the hobby.
Calvin.
This is
Oh,
our
okay. Richie.
this is
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're okay. I'm just showing this is all the tanks we got that we're gonna set up. Like a whole wall of them. So fun stuff ahead.
Hey Jay, what's up, buddy?
Looks fun.
Hey. Yeah, this is Amanda. I'm sure you know. She's one of our admins in the group as well. They're about to reset up their fish room. They did have a nice little setup going on, but I bet this one's going to be 10 times better. They're really getting to it, so I'm curious to see what they got going on. I don't know what you got going on. If you just want to show your tanks, man, it ain't gotta be nothing special. Let's just talk fish, show fish, what we got going on. Calvin, did you click on that link, buddy? Vinny, thank you so much. I'm glad you could make it too, man. I had a Big Hank Tanks in here last night. I was surprised he popped in. That was awesome. This is my first successful stream. And as I say successful, there's only 4 people viewing, at least what it's showing. But that's okay to me, y'all. I'm quite happy.
Hey, man, yeah.
I got another guest. Oh, shit. All right, guys. Here comes Calvin. This man got blood parrots out the wazoo. He has some of the prettiest tanks. Calvin, my man, what's up, dude? Yes, sir. You got good sound quality? I'm sorry, this background music. If it's too loud, tell me to shut it off, y'all.
Got my cat over here bugging me. They're bumping my hand.
Okay, I am gonna real quick try to invite now. I've been posting all yesterday and today, but you know, nobody cares about little old Sean at Casual Aquatics. But I'm gonna go ahead and try to share to try to get a few more people in here, and then we'll just start, you know, Amanda, show everything you got going on, talk about whatever you want with what you got going on. And then if anything, Richie, if you got something to show or whatever, hop in there and give us a little tour. And then Calvin, I don't know what you're going to show us, buddy, but I'd just be happy to see that tank of blood parrots.
All right. This is our fish room. We're trying to get set up again and going. We're trying out a central sump for the whole rack. So we're going to see how that works out. We're hoping to cut down on having to run a heater in each tank and you know, all that. So we're going to try it. Like I said, we're just doing one rack for now, trying that out. And if it works, then we'll do the whole room that way. But anyways, this is our rack we got set up. So we got 10s on the first 2 layers, and then we got 29s down on the bottom. And we're working on plumbing today and getting them filled up. But we're doing the no drill overflows. So
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Did you do that because of the 29s are obviously going to be heavier, or due to space in your racking? Like you said, you got the 10s on top and the 29s on bottom. Is that due to weight or spacing?
Yeah, well, mainly the weight, but also just because the 10 gallons, we're probably going to be in them more. I think we're going to use the bottom ones more as grow outs. So, but yeah, mainly because of the weight. But those are the overflows we did. We've never drilled a tank, and I just didn't want to go through all that trouble. So my husband found this cool no drill overflow thing. So we're going to try those out, and I'll be posting a video of those later.
Then, yeah, I've seen those before.
Yeah. And then we just have a goldfish tank out here. And then our garage is a mess right now because we're redoing everything. But
sorry, Amanda. Again, Calvin, I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
How about now?
Oh yeah. There you go,
There
buddy.
we go.
All
I had
right.
to switch
Sorry.
mics.
Continue,
I'm eating
Amanda.
pizza, guys. Sorry.
That's quite all right.
And then these are all the tanks that we have to get going, that we have to set up. And so I'm not sure how many there are. There's probably about 40 of them here. But some of them are acrylics. Most of them are glass. But so we're just going to have fun setting those up. And we hope to share a bunch of videos.
What's
But
your
that's about all I
stocking
got.
plans? What's your stocking plans for him? What are you about to start breeding? What are you trying to do?
So we got some rams that I'm wanting to breed. And then I did get some guppies at that auction down in Indianapolis. So I really had no interest in guppies or mollies or any of that, but I noticed how well they sell at the auction. So I got some.
Patty!
They
hey,
sell
thank
easy,
you for
so
stopping by.
I have a love-hate relationship with my guppies. I like part of me wants to get rid of them, but I just can't for some reason.
right.
They're just kind of there right now, trying to figure something out.
Right. Yep, but that's all we got going on, and I'm hoping to share some videos of what we got going on and how it's going.
Amanda, how's those green dragons doing? They doing any better?
Yeah.
They died.
I think there's one left. So the other ones, they died off too. And I don't see any spots on them like ick. So I'm not sure what's going on. But we have the tank quarantined and there's one left. And we're hoping to keep him going. My husband's been putting medicine in the tank. So I was kind of bummed out.
I'm actually dealing with ick in this 65 right now. So
Yep. It's hard, man.
What medicine are you guys using for ick? I got this green shit off of Amazon. It's called like Ick Ooh X or something, and I swear by it, man. Noxic,
I swear.
maybe.
I like that brand.
Remedy.
Oh, okay. I think we're using the Ick X is what we got at the pet store, Marion.
Yeah.
A Vegetarian brand has formalin MS. You can mix that up with a little bit of Noxic. That's all Ick X is melachite green with formalin.
All right. That's why I got a big ass
formalin though.
That's why I got a big ass blue stain on my carpet now, because I dropped my phone in my 135 gallon on a live stream and it worked.
I got a half a liter of Noxic on my floor of my rental, so.
Oh, damn.
the first time I ran into ick was with my 75 was community.
Thank you for joining.
And I just used the Imaginarium parasite remedy and used it for I think like 2 weeks, and it all cleared up and everything was good.
Yeah.
Patty, I'm gonna have to...
good on this tank right now. It's just my Sebrum that's got it like really bad. She looks like she's clearing up. That
Mediterranean brand is like the secret. It's like a secret to people. A lot of people that are really good. They just, I don't want to say really good, but like experienced in the hobby, they overlook it. But I don't know of another brand that sells just formalin. At least that's easily and readily available on the shelf.
There was one time I was up in the Petco and a lady was asking one of the employees about ick medicine, and I watched the girl grab the wrong thing, and I just walked over. I was like, "I'm sorry, I got you," and like I grabbed this Mediterranean shit and gave her the whole rundown what to do, and I never ran into her again, so I don't know how things went, but.
Collab of Curiosities. What's up, buddy? Welcome to Casual Aquatics. I'm glad you stopped into our live stream, man. I appreciate it. We got 6 people live. Thank you so much. I can't express enough how much I appreciate all of y'all popping in here. I'm sure you got better stuff going on, but...
Hey, Sean.
Right. Yeah.
You want to see the puffers?
Yeah, I want to see it all. You're next, buddy. Show us whatever you want. Any and all tanks you got going on. Like I started with a green spotted puffer, a blood parrot, and a Sidno catfish, and a 10-gallon, and I got slammed on Facebook. out of 300 comments, only 50 of them was like, hey, this fish needs this many gallons. So at any rate, long story short, I would like to get another spotted puffer now that I'm more, I guess, experienced in the hobby. So yeah, for sure. Sorry, man. Go ahead.
Did you see those guys?
I seen it for a minute. Sorry, I was just rambling.
Oh, dude, you're good. This is your channel, man. I tried to sit these clams out to thaw, but this is I don't know how to do this, but this is my what I feed them. I go through about 4 bags of these a week.
Is that bloodworms?
No, it's frozen clams on the half shell.
Oh wow.
I wouldn't buy this stuff if I didn't have a discount. Like it's too expensive to say the very least. Let's see if I can get them going again. They're always hungry. These guys will eat until they literally will throw up.
Are those colomesis, or how do you pronounce it properly?
Colomesis psittacus.
Right, I'll be trying to say psittacus, like pronouncing the P.
They're just little babies right now. They'll get 12 inches or so.
Anybody and everybody who has saw my video on my channel on colomesis, what he said, because I can't pronounce it, these are his fish, everybody. Calvin was gracious enough to give me some video footage, and I looked up the facts. Y'all should look into them. They're really cool fish. If I had a separate tank that I could set up for them, I'd probably try to get some.
I've looked for other ones. I can find them on sites that say they're for sale, but they've been back ordered or out of stock for a year or more. I don't even know how much these things cost because I want more.
Right. Everybody
There
in the
she
chat.
is.
Oh, look.
You can see all the spots on her.
Pretty.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
They're freaking out like she has been the past week.
Hey, how big is your polar blue and how old are they?
This polar blue is, I'd say, almost 2 inches long. I don't know how old it is.
Because I have 5 left. My Oscar ate the other 2.
Oh gosh. And then this one.
Now they just fight them off. Like they
3
literally will
inches.
fight a 12-inch Oscar.
Everybody and anybody who's in the chat right now, if you don't, you're more than
EBJD,
welcome
he had
to
it kind
come
of
up
bad,
on the
but
live stream.
cleared up.
Click that link and I'll invite you in. Otherwise, in the comments, let's mention what's your favorite fish, and if you could only keep one fish, what would it be? Mine personally, if I could only keep one fish, would probably be a red-tailed catfish. My favorite fish, though, I'd probably say an Oscar, but that's just for in the comments.
That's
Richie, how long have you had that EBJ?
This would be the one fish that I would keep. Like,
oh, Oscars.
He's my favorite for sure.
I have too many favorites. That's my problem.
Patty says a betta.
I've been.
Hey, I'm about to get a marine beta.
Yeah.
That is too.
Yeah. Just got to get this thing cycled. I don't have rock or sand yet for my tank, but it's coming along. It's getting there. Well, let me turn this thing off. You guys can see down there. But there's not even salt in the water yet. This is just leak tests and bulkheads. This crap up there, I got to shorten that hose, but.
Clab of Curiosity says, I couldn't just choose one. Well, then what if you had to choose, like, one community fish and one, like, big cichlid or predator fish?
Community
I'd
fish?
I'd go with Primac.
I go with the pistos for a community fish.
For what?
A pistos for community?
I'm not even sure what that is. Oh, okay, yeah. Calvin, you said a trimac. Is that your one predator big fish?
Yep, Trimaculatus.
Man.
Those guys get like 2 foot plus, and they're just big douchebag South Americans. Or Central American, sorry.
Muppet says Corey's. I dig you on the Corey's, Muppets. I have plenty of them.
I was at the store one day and saw this flower horn. Oh my god, I've never seen a flower horn like this one before. If I had the tank for it, I totally would have spent the $250 on it. Like,
all right, Richie, I'm about to tell you something, buddy. I break the rules. We all know that. I got a flower horn, and I'm waiting for him to get a little bigger to throw him in the 135. And I know you and Calvin both are probably like, what? No way. But, like, I really want him to grow out, go in there, and then throw him in the 300-gallon. I have plans. I've been talking to a buddy about maybe moving into, like, a rent-to-own home. So it won't be far off, I hope, that I'll have my own home. And then y'all are going to be tired of me in the group of posting all of these stupid tanks because the sky's going to be the limit. I don't care, man. Like, I could have hundreds of tanks and I would be happy. So, at any rate, yeah, my flower horn, he's actually getting bigger. He's got this cool, like, I've never quite seen one like him. He's got, like, these black stripes across his whole body. And then he still has, like, the red by his, like, face. And he's just now kind of developing his knot.
yeah, that was like the one that I saw at the store. It had like
ooh, Calvin.
That really pretty bright red face, and it had a black body with the stripes. Like,
right.
Yeah, see, my plan is to get a tank big enough I can throw my little guys that are gonna get big together with my Oscars. My little albino sailfin pleco has been growing pretty fast.
Oh, you have a sailfin albino?
Calvin, he's got a big one. How big is yours, Richie?
It's looking at it now, it looks like it's about 3 inches long. I got it. It was like just barely an inch. That was a couple months ago.
Collaboration of curiosities. You want to get up here, show your live? Vinny, you
Yeah.
here with us, buddy? You hop
Trying
up
to get
here.
a video back there, but there's mine. She's about 20 inches or so.
It is hard to see, but I've seen pictures and it's beautiful. I'm jelly.
I just rearranged a bunch of stuff in this tank, and it's very cloudy, but
Angel's getting in the way.
that's the tank.
Beautiful.
Wait, hold on, you show again? I didn't
So,
see it.
hey,
I was trying to
Calvin,
camera.
which one is Derp?
Derp?
Or, yeah, whichever you might have renamed.
That girl right there.
Yeah.
And she's a King Kong.
Yes.
She's grown about an inch since I've put her in this tank.
Yeah.
And here's my iridescent. He's looking all beat up from freaking out.
Oh my God, Calvin, how big is he?
I don't know, like 10 inches, 12 inches, I think.
Oh my God. You remember I got mine like 6 months ago? He's only like 3 or 4 inches still. So I was worried if I was like stunning him by trying to grow him out in that 55.
You remember when I got this?
There it is.
I didn't think he was that big.
He's doubled his size since I got him.
How long have you had him then? Like, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Should I go ahead and... I'm afraid if I throw him in the 135, the Oscars might fucking eat him.
Oh, I love Kurt Tetras.
This thing.
Is that a long fin?
Yeah, it's a long fin black skirt, and it's crazy. Like, all the other fish don't mess with it. They try to stay away from him. It's an asshole.
You ever look up really close at its face? They look just like piranhas.
Right, where are we at?
I just got a white, what are they called? Snow polar parrots or whatever. I just noticed your blue polar.
It's a
Diamond really
short
looks
body,
like piranha to
short
me.
body pink convict.
And the Congos.
Give me a second, guys. I'm going to try to post on Facebook, try to get some more people in here.
Well, I have to get my charger. Give me a second.
You're all right. Collaboration of Curiosity said, I like angels though too. Oof, Arapaima, the big one. Yeah, I like my salt and pepper Corey. I love my Corys. Honestly, if I picked a community fish, like if I could only keep a small tank. Now, mind you, if I didn't know what I know now, I probably would just say none or something because I was ill knowledge. But as I've grown in the hobby, like I love Kalui loaches so much. Like, so if I had to keep a small tank and a community fish, I'd probably have a tank full of like community and dojo loaches. Those guys are so cool. I've been waiting to get some from Aquahuna because some of mine died off. I probably only have like 3 or 4 Kalui loaches left in my community tank, but that'd probably be my community fish if I could have it because you could fit like, 10, 15 in a 40-gallon, and that's quite all right.
Yeah, cool. Those are pretty cool.
Also, today, guys, I went ahead and caved in. I've been seeing them. I've seen Corey talk about them a lot and stuff. And like, I love catfish, but they didn't seem too appealing to me. But I caved in and I bought 2. What are they called? Fucking ghost catfish or whatever. They're like clear, see through. Yeah, I bought 2 for my community bow front tank now.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Glass catfish, yeah. So those are kind of cool.
I was
kind of happy about them.
Get a fish that probably would have ruined me, but like I thought it was really cool at the time. It was what's it called? The Chinese high fin shark.
Oh, those are cool.
I was talking to the guy at Petco. Like me and him are cool. Like we always chatting. Like he knows his shit about fish. Like I always like dealing with him when I go to that. Like I was telling him, I was like, man, that thing looks too cool. Like I know one day I'll have a tank big enough for it. He was like, you know how big that thing will get though, right? And I don't know.
Indoor pond.
Told me, he's like, you need a pond for that thing. Man. That thing's an algae cleaner for like a big old pond. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, they don't winter either.
No.
Yeah, that they need the cold water, like the cooler water, but they can't winter over.
So they need like 50-degree water, but not like frozen.
I mean, heck, I'd even push upwards of 70 degrees. Like they're pretty temperate, but like they just can't be too hot or too cold, which puts it in a really tough area. Like goldfish, I mean, in a pond in the summertime, their water could hit 90+ degrees. In the wintertime, obviously, I mean, I've seen goldfish frozen solid and then thaw out and be alive. So
and live, right? Crazy.
That doesn't go for fancy goldfish too, though, right? Like
no, I keep my fancies. Actually, these guys, see if they can come into the screen right here. But I keep these guys right around room temperature of about 72. Like their water stays right around 72. I just don't heat it. Oh, here they come.
That's this tank from me. Like leave it at room temperature. Like it'd be cool. I think it stays at like 72, 73.
Yeah, I found that the fancies, especially the shorter the body, like the more stubby and shortened the body, the warmer temperatures are a little bit better for them. Like Ryukins, if you keep those guys too cold, they'll just get constipated.
So
I've actually had issues with that in the past. I find that room temperature, basically like above common temperatures are fine. And even warm temperatures are fine. You have to feed them. They'll grow. Their bodies will go crazy.
Oh yeah.
Here they are.
Yeah, when I really want to upgrade from this tank to something big enough so I can get like a Ranchu or something too. Like I don't know what it is about them Ranchus. Like they're freaking.
The Ranchu.
Yeah, like every time I see them, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Fish. Like,
I like these guys. It's the white and orange one. Well, now they're all there, but let's see that guy right there, the Kamasaba Ryukin.
My old
Yeah.
lady, every time we go to a
Like
pet
those
store,
ones too.
she points out a black moor. Now, I cannot put that with my Oscars, correct? I
Very
cannot.
correct.
Right.
And
Right.
that's like the biggest tank I have. Don't they need at least, 75 gallons?
Preferably, but you can get away. I mean, if you keep up with your water changes, and keep in mind this is for adults. Like we're talking 2-3 years down the road. A couple, you can get away with 3 of them in a 55. Just keep up with your water changes. And there was a point that I had 5 or 6 in a 55.
All right. Well, my 55, well, I have 2, but my main one is a mixed African and South American tank. That's
It sounds
not
like you
gonna.
need a new. Sounds like you need another tank.
Okay. Exactly. I keep telling her no. I'm like, babe, I love you. I like the fish too, but we don't need a whole nother tank devoted to one
And if
fish. I'm not the
you
type
ever,
of person to get just one fish, man. I'm addicted.
yeah,
I want them to
if you
have
ever get a
buddies and
Blackmore,
homies.
if you ever do get a Blackmore from someplace like a chain pet store, just know it's not a Blackmore. They start out black and they'll eventually turn orange.
No
It doesn't
kidding.
change. It doesn't take away from the fish. They're still the same fish. Beautiful personalities, awesome because they're just the more like tweaked ones genetically, I guess, or they just have like a different personality than something like a common. The commons act a little bit more wild and like my Tomasawa Ryukin or my Yan Baos, like they're super interactive and always staring at you looking for food.
So then what would you recommend? Like to anybody that watches this live stream afterwards when it's not live no more and they're like, hey, I kind of want one too. Like, but I want a real one. Do you know of a site? Do you recommend going through a certain person or just,
I'll
you
shout out
know,
a few places. Yan Bao, not Yan Bao's, but Zhao's Fancies. Uh, geez, oh, that one's not anymore. But there's also King Koi, Goldfish Island. But the thing is unless you see the parents at like 5 years and they're still black, that's about the only way you're really gonna tell.
all right, fair enough. I mean, because I'm sure she would probably be like, what's going on? My fish ain't black no more. I'm guessing it
It,
probably within a year or two. It ain't like right away type thing, I'm guessing.
no, it's either when they're really young or it's gonna be randomly 5 years down the road for some reason. They'll just change colors.
Right.
Didn't even like the white ones go through some color changes like that. My sister had one that was all white at one point and then it like turned orange. Like,
Okay. Right.
But yeah, like this is the my tank for these guys. I had a bunch of extra series stone that I got from the store owner's tank, but it got a bunch of Blackbeard on it. Well, not Blackbeard, it's kind of Blackbeard, but runs on a big old sump that I actually had to cut the back of the stand out to put into here. This
Yeah.
thing, yeah, it's a
Is
neat
that
setup.
is that what you was just showing in the group recently? Like that whole new sump setup?
Oh
I'm
no,
sorry.
that's a 65.
Well,
That's an almost $10,000 setup that I just got. Someone just dropped it off at the store.
no kidding. You got that set up right now? You want to show us, or is that?
Yeah, I'll show it. I showed it in the beginning, but let me move my charger, or else this phone will die. I got an old phone, and even on the charger, it's losing power.
You're good.
So let me get back there and get this thing plugged in. But yeah, I mean, it's not the greatest of setup. Well, let me rephrase that. I'm used to seeing people's $100,000 tanks and comparing myself to people that have literally they're worth over $1 billion. So this is so it's got a eShop sump with a big old refugium. That's what this guy is right here. This like little spot right here is nice, cool little. I'll turn the blue light on so you can see it actually. But the person that had this tank before, I don't even know what. No one really knows what type of crab it is. It's still at the store. No one wants it, so I'll probably end up with it because kind of how the service techs end up is a big fish ends up at the store, something crazy ends up at the store, and no one knows what it is or wants it, so it finds their way home to us. But it's got the e-shop sump, one of the new lines of big old skimmers from Sephora. Not the best of skimmers. There's no salt in the water right now, so it's actually just blowing air through it, not doing anything. But it's not bad. You know, the stand is old, but I really like these stands because I can actually take the door off. I'm not going to now. I only have one hand, but you can actually take the door off, so it makes maintenance really easy. As you can see, they abused, you know, they abused this tank,
Yeah.
but it's 65 drilled.
That's nice though. I'm jelly. I want it like it would be probably too much for me. Like I want to set up that sump. I've been thinking about like possibly getting that bio wheel. You said it's I mean like so to get it and set it up on a 55, would it be worth it? That bio wheel sump that Phil has in the group?
As
Or
long as
do
you're
you
not,
think
as long as you're not overloading that bio wheel and keep it, you know, you keep it clean. That's the big thing. You got to think like pet stores. A lot of pet stores still use the older marine land systems, and those are is just a huge bio wheel sump. That's the only form of bio in there. It's essentially like a fancier version of a wet dry. They work better than a normal typical wet dry, but it's an older thing. Like let's say that bio wheel stops as you got water stops flowing. You now have to wait for that thing to start spinning again. Like it
okay?
won't spin. It won't spin right away until bacteria starts to grow on it again or waste gets into it.
This is my little
Yes.
Depot DIY.
Man, that's what. Well, I thought those would be too small, so I'm so glad you're showing me this because I've considered doing those smaller 3-drawer things. I got one of those 3-footers.
Yeah,
I
I
like
mean,
how you did
it's
that
not too
lid.
bad. Like, I just have this thing's like a power head, whatever you can get at Petco. I just threw a pre-filter sponge on the end of it, and I had this tube from an old gravel bag. Cleaned it out and
So can
hooked
you
it
show
up.
the can you show the back of that? Like, so you have hose into the top. Where's the pump? How is the water flowing?
Okay, so that's the pump right there. So the water
All right,
comes
so
up.
the pump is sucking in water, going up
Yeah, and
through.
then it comes in through the top. The top drawer has what is it? The pond filter padding.
Okay.
The second drawer is just polyfill, just for polishing. And the third drawer has bags with like bio balls and stuff in there. And all the bio ball bags came from the sump on my 5-gallon tank, so they were already seeded and all that.
I've never seen
Gravel
someone set it up like
there.
that.
Right, that's clever as
Yeah,
shit.
that's
I've
genius.
seen those little
Just-
drawers, like where I can't find those big ones. I'll see a bunch of those, and I'm like, "There's no way that'll work." Like how? I mean, your tank's obviously clear. I mean, it's keeping it clean and filtered. What else? Do you have any other filtration on that tank aside from that?
This tank, no. Like, it's just the sump itself right now. I might put a sponge filter in there. I really like sponge filters, but yeah. I just have a piece of PVC that goes from here down. It's and then with that little elbow bend with a little 90-degree angle, and put some plastic mesh here to kind of baffle the flow because it was really loud. But and this is just in case.
Bro, I'm digging it. You might have to like.
That, then
I'm
if
gonna have
it
to message
overflows,
you
it'll
and
just
get
go straight down into the tank either way. But yeah, it's been working pretty good. My parameters are staying good. It's just getting through this bout of ick, and then I got some gravel and stuff that I'm gonna rinse and put in here. I get the sand out.
Did you buy that Severum at that size, or did you raise it? Sassy, what the hell? Excuse me, guys.
Buy
My
what?
cat's outside, and it ain't
Oh, the
supposed to
Severum?
be outside.
Oh yeah,
Your,
I got her when she was
yeah, your
like
Severum.
big. Oh yeah, I got her when she was like that big. Now she's, say, 5 inches from nose to the tip of her tail.
Oh, she's pretty. There's a red spot.
Probably some kind of mixed variant of it.
Yeah, I
I got a
couldn't tell if it's a
green
red shoulder or a red
striped
spot.
Severum.
Hey, Sean.
Sucks. It's
Yes,
like
sir.
she's gotten through the most out of like all of my fish. She's been treated for so many different things. She's just
This is
What's
what I
up,
have
Kev?
for my saltwater. Like, you want saltwater, have a way to mix water. About all I can say.
oh, golf ball.
Speaking of that, I need to do a water
found
change
this,
on my
moonlight.
freshwater eels tank, and I ain't got no, I don't know how, roto system or what the fuck ever. I
RODI?
simply salt in 5-gallon buckets, and I added
Like these guys?
slow bucket. You gotta slowly let him acclimate to each bucket. The tank. Maybe I misread on that. If that's the case, I'm sorry to anybody publicly on my video, but yeah, I ain't got no special system. I still need to get a decent canister filter. I just got a hob on there, and he's kicking it. I've had him now for like 8 months, and that dude is like almost 2 foot long, and he eats quite a bit of live feeders, so he's pretty cool.
No, for a lot of the clients that we have that have saltwater tanks, if we have an RO unit set up there, there's one of 3 things that we'll do. We'll have a float valve on a 44-gallon brute trash can. So those things can hold water just fine long term. And that float valve will shut off the water when the thing is eventually filled. Another thing we'll do is we'll have a Y splitter on the RO to fill the brute, and then also have a line directly to the tank. Which is like this tank, like my saltwater tank in the back of the sump. I can't show it to you without getting up under the tank and bending
no,
around
that's
and stuff.
okay.
But it's got a
Maybe on
float
another
valve back
day.
there, and it keeps the tank topped off because, like with salt water, as the water evaporates, the salt stays behind. For the most part, I mean, in a perfect world, your salinity won't change if you're topping it off with 100% like fresh RO. But because of salt creep and all that stuff, it slowly drops. But like
Okay.
most people that have like reefs, they're not really doing water changes. Their tanks are, once it gets to a certain point, their tanks are self-sustained. So, but yeah, like when it comes to salt water, like I haven't set this tank up. The only thing I have left to do is get rock and sand. And if I want new rock, my price of the stuff that I want for the life rock, which is the Carib Sea life rock, is, I honestly don't want to know, to be honest. Like that stuff's so expensive.
Bro, every time I go to the reef in Indy, we go and check out the salt area just because the fish are beautiful, man. Live corals and rocks are beautiful, but the price is crazy
and it's only going
on some
up.
of those things. Yeah.
I mean, a 4-inch yellow tang is going anywhere, depending on the quality. I've seen them go upwards of $500 for a yellow tang. Hawaii just
a lot of them
importing.
like wild caught.
Oh, they're all wild caught.
All
There's
wild caught.
Banggai cardinals. A few of the cardinal fish are, or a couple of the cardinal fish are captive bred. Clowns are almost all clowns out there, and especially all the fancy ones.
Yeah.
Those are all captive bred,
I'm
and
gonna wait till I have a ton of money to start in salt. Do
Like-
like a 200-gallon tank, like my first saltwater. Like,
Right.
I can tell you what a 200-gallon tank's gonna run you brand new, start to finish, to do it right. It's just wait. So hopefully you don't have any kids that want to go to college. I'm not joking.
I know, like
Like if you want to start a 225
Mike,
drilled high tech
hey,
reef,
what's
I mean
up,
I could
buddy?
push that tank to 30 grand, well past 30 grand. That's
Mike,
before I
hop up
get
here on
into
the screen,
livestock.
buddy. Click that link. I gotta reuse that one on Vinny. Patty, what? What are you talking about? I'm missing some conversation.
By the time I'm like 70 or 80, I'll have my first.
Anybody in the chat, you're more than welcome to hop up here on the screen and show me your tank. I don't care if you got 1 tank, you got 7 tanks, you got 30 tanks. Everybody's welcome. It is all about sharing and spreading the hobby. Where did Calvin go?
Uh-oh.
He just dipped. Lost connection. I bet his phone died. He mentioned something about his battery or charger or whatever. Yeah, if like I guess I accidentally stumbled into salt myself because of that eel. Like I was naive when I seen fresh water, and then obviously learned real quick. Like I'd done the research, and then like right at the store type thing, I'm like, okay, this is not a freshwater fish. It is a brackish fish, and it almost needs a like complete reef levels by adult, like full grown stage. So then I just accepted. I said, all right, I got a 55, and it says they technically only need 30 gallons, so that's like a mansion for him, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try it. But it ain't like how you're talking about getting tangs and, I don't know, clownfish. I can't even begin to mention the names of saltfish because I don't know all of them. I just know that they're pretty and beautiful. Like, if I could get it, I'd get like, what is that, an angler fish? And that probably needs like 300,000 gallons or, you know, something dumb. But
I want to try brackish though. Like, I know that you can get live bears like guppies and mollies to adapt to it. And like, if I still have my guppies.
Did your battery die, bro?
No, I pressed the back button on my phone and then it backed out of everything. Sorry. Hey, go get an anglerfish.
You heard that though?
Right. You just got to figure out how to keep pressure on it. That's the hard part. There's so many fish out there that I want, but like there's a type of you know what roly-poly bugs look like?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a type. They're a crustacean. It's a terrestrial crustacean. There is something in the ocean that looks exactly like them, except they're 2 foot long.
Right. Yeah. I've seen it before.
You can't. You need 1,000 feet of water's worth of pressure to keep them alive, or else they just explode. So.
Whoa.
Yeah,
See,
like maybe not 1,000, but easily a few hundred.
Yeah, I definitely. I mean, salt's beautiful, and I applaud all of you that are currently doing it. I'm playing around with some brackish, and that's okay for me right now. If
and heck, the Calamesis they're a weird fish. They're not brackish, but they're not freshwater. They live their full life in near marine conditions or completely freshwater. It's both. I forget what they call that, but it's not many fish out there are like that. Like they will live their entire life in freshwater or their entire life in near marine conditions and everything in between. Most commonly, you'll see them in like mangrove settings.
So then, do they just not thrive in freshwater or in freshwater? Freshwater.
It comes down to their parents and their parents. Like if their generations before them grew up in brackish, I mean, or freshwater, vice versa. But it's still like they will switch straight up to freshwater. they breed mainly in freshwater, but just where their food is, because they follow their food when it migrates throughout the year. Like a lot of their food is like little crabs and stuff like that, and they'll follow the food source. So wherever it goes, that's where you'll find them.
Yeah, I probably would consider of that, honestly, but again, until I could actually have more tanks and whatnot, think I'm content. I was saying that last night on my little pre-live stream. I think I'm content, even though today I bought more fish. I'm a dummy, but it's a community tank, small fish. But like on actually buying bigger fish, I think I'm good. I'm gonna let what I have grow out, try to move them up throughout the stages. Obviously, some of them at some point, I better be able to set up that 300-gallon, or I'm gonna have to rehome fish, and I don't want to be that guy. I really don't. I don't want to be that
I'm
person you
gonna
see in their groups being like, "Oh, rehoming fish." Now I get it. If you really need to, you have a circumstance, okay. But like, I bought this fish intentionally to keep it as a pet and raise it. I want to try to do that.
I'm
Like,
I'm telling you right now that 300 isn't big enough.
yeah,
The 500 is
probably.
not big enough.
Well, I have, so let's just put it out there on the table. I have an iridescent, which is only like 3-4 inches right now. I have the two Oscars. I know what you're thinking because you've told me in our personal chats and stuff that I probably shouldn't have got a red devil and put in with the Oscars and stuff. But at any
It
rate,
is what it is.
let's
It
go through the
works.
list. I got Oscars. I got the one red devil. I got the one jaguar. Those are my biggest fish. Those are my biggest concerns outside of
How,
the fire eel. He's
how
gonna
big's your
be
jag?
he's only like 4 inches, I think.
Just
You have
wait.
Oh yeah, and I know, and I got him in the 135 already, dude.
But those ones,
I
don't those
put
ones
the
get like
uh,
super mean though when they get big?
that's what
Yeah,
I
like
heard. I put the Oscars babies, Lady and Tramp, their baby. I have tried it now 3 times to re-enter their juvenile baby in their tank, and they ain't having it. And I don't know if it's because it's another Oscar. They obviously disassociate. That's my kin. They don't give a crap.
Mm-mm.
And maybe it's competition, or maybe it's
That's
so small
stuff that
that
like food.
right.
yeah,
But
basically.
he's like 4 inches too, though. He ain't no little guy anymore. He's a
That's
decent
a little.
size. Like
That's a little guy.
he's about okay. So what point is the 55 too small for him?
I'd say once he hits 6 to 7, maybe 8 inches.
Okay, because like I'm just trying not to again ill properly home him. If I can't, I will get rid of my juvenile, and I'd hate to because that was cool. I raised him from a baby, from eggs
Yeah.
all the way up, and I sold all of them but one. And I was hoping to re-enter him with his parents. And like I said, I've tried 3 times, hasn't quite worked too well. There's a video on my channel about that, and so at any rate,
It
yeah,
might work
that
better later when he's a little bit bigger.
but okay, my point. I'm rambling. The Jaguar at his size now, bro. I put him in there, and they cool. They like buddies. The Oscars don't really fuck with him, and he damn sure don't really mess with those Oscars because
Yeah,
Tramp's
they got that
Tramp's
mutual
every bit of
understanding.
like 13, 15 inches, and Lady's
Yeah.
like 9 to 11 inches.
Yeah, they got that understanding at that size. I mean, if the Jaguar really wanted to, he could hold his own more than likely, at least for a short period of time. But the Oscars probably don't see it as a threat, or they also know that it's going to be an issue if they try, or at least they might have tried when you're not around or whatever. And the
Right,
Jaguar was
right.
like, "Hey, don't mess with me. I can't kill you, but I'll smack you around a little bit."
Well, I used to watch him and Perp, the Green Terror, lock up, and then they would go their separate ways. Unfortunately, I lost Perp, and I'm not quite sure the circumstances of why. That's why I was worried about that Oscar pod or Demetrius or whatever it was in my tank. I'm not quite sure still yet, and I'm very sad about that, but that's a whole nother story. But like I watched the Jag lock up with the Green Terror, and him and the Devil every now and again have their bouts. but like it ain't like, vicious. It ain't. It's like set in boundaries, and then they go their separate ways. That
Yeah.
135 has plenty of caves, and it's, I don't know, 6 foot, 7 foot tank, so it's decent size.
A 6 foot, probably
Right.
what, 18 inches front to back.
Yeah, something like that.
That's what really decides what fish you can put in. Like, I try to tell people that all the time. Like, the same fish that goes in a 150 long is the same fish that go in a 75 gallon. It's the same exact thing. It's just a taller, longer tank. Because if a fish can't turn around in a 75, like, it's not gonna be able to turn around in that 150 either. You know.
Right. Oh, and then my other biggest fish so far is that pike, man. I call him Squish because when we got him at Petland, the lady dropped a damn rock on him, and I thought he was going to die because he was all like floating weird. And at first, I'm like, nah, I don't want him. And they're like, well, you could just have him. I'm like, okay, I'll take a chance. And now he's,
Yeah,
man, he's
they're like,
nice. And they get up
like
to
we
like
killed the fish. We
14
can't let the
inches.
manager see it.
Right. And now he's probably 4 or 5 inches. That albino I posted in the group, redfin, they're neck to neck, man. They're decent size. So those would be my next fish. So to conclude, why did you say 300 gallons is not enough?
You ever seen a full grown ID?
Yeah.
I've seen him at 80. I've seen him close to 80 pounds.
So you're saying, like, I swear, and that's the research I done. I feel bad. Anybody watching this live stream, I'm sorry. I try to do as much research as I can before I post a video. I never want to falsely give any wrong information. Technically, any research found says an iridescent shark, I guess by itself, should be able to have 300 gallons or more. And currently, I can properly provide a 300 gallon. So
one of the reasons I say that, and honestly, a 300 will
Big
do
Tank
fine.
Hank. Sorry, Calvin. What up, buddy? Thank you for stopping in. Continue, Calvin. I'm sorry.
Sorry about that. You're good. One of the reasons I say 300 isn't enough is, for one, I mean, that fish is going to be 36 inches. Like, there's no doubt about it. The let's say you get a Marineland Deep Dimension, that's a 6x3 by 30-inch tall tank. That fish will bust those panels. Like, you literally look at it wrong, you walk past the tank too fast. That thing is, one of two things are going to happen. It's going to move 3 feet in a blink of an eye, and its face is going to get crushed, or it's going to break the panels. That's the thing about iridescents is they spook really easy when they don't have enough room.
Right,
like,
but
they
feel
too framed.
Rubbermaid pond. It ain't a tank.
Yeah, well, then they'll just crush their face, or they'll jump.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you also got a lot of time. Like, once it hits that 2 foot mark, like they tend to slow down. I mean, they're still going to keep growing at a decent rate, kind of, but like once they hit that 2 foot mark, like they kind of slow down a little bit. But you got to think those are open water fish. Like, they school in the wild, kind of. They're a shoaling fish. Like, they're used to having large numbers in open water, like larger river systems. And those ones, the ones you can get in the store, they're not even like the big ones. Like, there's the Pangasius that they use, which the Pangasius is the main Latin name for them, but the Pangasius that they use for food, like in other parts of the world, those guys get 5-6 feet. Like, that's pretty crazy. But like, I don't know, iridescent, I don't know. It's just like a Pacu. People say 300 gallon for Pacu. An 8x4 tank isn't enough. A Pacu would do the same thing. You spook it once, and if it doesn't go through the wall of the tank, it's crushing its face and dying on the spot.
I would never get a Pacu. I think I've definitely seen enough videos to know. Like, they're cool fish. They're cool that they have legit teeth, but people. they belong in an aquarium or their natural habitat. I'm not even going to pretend like I could give them a home. Ohio Fish Rescue, they barely can home one in that. What is it? It's like a 500,000 gallon pool turned into a pond.
Oh, the 50?
Yeah, I wish.
50,000? Yeah.
Yeah, I
they
wish
can't
I
put
could
them in
have
there because they chew everything up.
Right. So I
Like,
definitely
here's
wanted.
a wire. Let me just bite through this wire real fast. When I was there last, I got a chance to see Big Betty, their oldest pocket that they have,
Yeah.
and she's close to 40 inches. She weighs a good 45 pounds, 50 pounds, something like that, if not more by now. I don't know.
Isn't
Like,
one that they rescued from that dude that had it in a tank that it couldn't?
Yeah. Yeah.
oh
It
no,
couldn't
that was
even. No, that
before
was a
that, but
different one.
still,
Yeah. It couldn't
I've seen that one
turn.
too.
The guy had it in that tank for like 20 years.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, like that fish is half the size it should be. Like, you,
and
but he
he was
also, in his defense, he didn't have YouTube or Facebook or anything like that.
he
So
he was so melatonin about it, y'all. Like he's like, yeah, this is my baby. I raised it for 5 or I don't know how many years he said or whatever in that tank, but now it won't turn around. Like, what did you think? Like,
yeah,
I
for heck, like Gar, like you see people say like, oh yeah, like I see the 300-gallon deep dimension from Marineland a lot. Which, if you guys ever decide to get one, don't. It's It's one of the worst built tanks out there, unless you can get one that's from their earlier runs, which those people keep those ones. Anyways, story for another time. Anyways, like I see people say like spotted gar or like Florida gar and stuff can live in those, and even if you get one that will stay at 3 feet, those things literally can't bend their bodies. Like I have actually seen on some of the more obscure pages where people post a picture like, "Is there anything I can do to save my fish?" And you can literally see its back broken, like it's got like a 20-degree sharp angle right in its spine, and it's because that fish tried to turn and broke its own back. You know, I think of stuff like that when I like, oh man, look at this little 12-inch spotted gar. That'd be cool.
right, right. The one that I done the video on, I was he's a member of the group, Chris. It was his for a minute, and he rehomed it. They're beautiful creatures, but again, that's one that I know I would never own. That's just like my favorite fish, the red-tailed cat, and that's only just because I
Yeah,
grew up always loving catfish. I love
yeah,
them, dude, and I want one so bad, but I just know, and I won't. And until I have like my own private property and can actually have a pool or
yeah,
3,000, I'm just not. I'm gonna admire them. I'm gonna try to educate on them, and
yeah,
I don't want people not to like them. You see that a lot in a lot of people's posts or in groups. They like say it in a way that it almost deters people or like makes them not like want them or like them. I don't want that. Like I would enjoy people having them, but again, like please
yeah.
properly home. That's all I
Yeah.
ask.
Like with stuff of like Paku, like I see that a lot with Paku. Like that's like one of my all-time favorite fish because those are. I mean, that fish is going to literally just like you know how like blood parrots or Oscars follow you around the room, stare at you, and watch you. They beg for food and wiggle their tails and stuff like that when they get
Yes, man, do
excited.
a little head
Paku
shake.
do the same exact thing, and they're smart enough to recognize people at least over a period of time. Like they're smart enough to learn to an extent. But I also see people saying like, "Oh no, like that's such a boring fish," or like it's such a you should never ever ever own that fish, and not one person in the world should ever have one. Like, no, like
No.
if I get a 1,000+ gallon tank, guess what? I'm getting a Paku. Like,
Right.
Have you ever watched that dude catch 'em all fishing? Like
Yes,
gosh,
Zach
yeah,
catch 'em all.
he lives right
Dude,
up lives
before I
on
was
the
even
lake
in
and
the
he's always catching
hobby,
his
I knew
pacos, and
who
that's the one
Zach
thing he always
was.
talks about is how smart they are, is they figure out like his tricks and
yeah,
like tries to catch them and shit. Like
yeah. They'll come up and watch you.
That's
They catch
like
them all
the
fishing's a weird guy. It's a
yeah,
weird channel.
yeah. He was on
it's
Swamp
entertaining to
People
watch sometimes.
even. It
Yeah.
was kind of funny. Another one, and I don't know, maybe I could house it. I don't even know. But the giant gourmet, those are the ones you see on those memes or whatever. Like, like
Yeah, you
how
got it. You
big do
got
they
to.
get? Because that would be dope.
It depends on which one you get. You get the red tail. I mean, that's a 2 foot long fish. You'd want probably 3 foot depth, 8 foot tank. I mean, but the thing is that they're like parrots. They live for. I mean, you're guaranteed at least 50 years with that fish.
Dang.
Yeah,
Right,
and they're not
right.
even like like there's a few different species out there. Some of them, they're all about the 20+ inch range, but like some of them get 3+ feet long, and no one really knows for sure how long they live, or at least in the wild how long they live.
Right, right.
There's a story out there. I don't know if it's on YouTube anymore. It's like a 10, 15-year-old video, but this guy would walk out in another country, but like walk out on this dock to feed these gourami that come to him for like 30 years, and these things are like 3.5, 4 foot long. Like that's like they're a pretty smart fish, but I wouldn't get one unless you have at least a 180 to start with. Like
Okay, see, right.
they grow really slow. But I mean, they'll hit that 18 inch mark pretty quickly. But after that, I mean,
And-
you're looking at a few inches a year at most.
Right, and even gallon, I want to be satisfied. That's the type of fish I want to see it. I want a glass box, as we call it, and I want to be able to interact with it. That 300-gallon would be great for it, but like I want to be able to see it and interact.
Yeah.
Now, when the day comes that I add Lady and the Tramp, they retire into that 300-gallon, and I might got to add the Jag or the something else. They've earned that. I can pet my Oscars. I can reach in my tank and pet my Oscars. So when the day comes, they go into the 300-gallon. They'll be retiring, and I'll still be able to interact with them. But yeah, like a gourmet, one of those that like, or a blood parrot, like I want to be able to see it. I want to be able to show it. Like,
yeah.
I don't know how anybody watching right now like interacts with their fish. Do you just have some fish and you like, okay, yeah, I have fish? No. These fish are like my everyday, my being. My face is in that tank. Right. I'm trying to get them to like come to my finger. I'm talking. My old lady, y'all, she's like, Sean, they do not hear you when you're screaming at them, telling them no, behave.
Don't tell me that. They can hear me, all right?
Right.
I swear though, like fishes like Oscars though, like they're intelligent enough. They can tell. They can read your facial expressions. Like they know.
Oh
yeah. like
right.
My big.
Anytime mine sees someone new, he literally just turns white and lays on the bottom in the corner of the tank. Nothing wrong. Somebody new. And then after he gets used to it, he goes back to harassing everybody.
Yeah, like they know. They totally know. They get it.
Everybody in the chat, do you got some fish that sulk?
My little topaz puffer is weird. Like I'll sit there on the couch, like when I used to have my TV out there. I would sit there on the couch. I'm like, man, something's watching me, and I look up, and there he is staring at me. And as soon as I look at him, he hides behind one of the fake leaves, and then he'll slowly creep out behind and look at you. And if you're still looking at it, he like creeps back behind the leaf. And then I would go back to watching TV or whatever. And then I look up, and there he is, right there against the glass, staring at me, and he runs away.
Sorry, babe, I put you on the spot, but it's true. Like, you be mad at me or telling me to calm down. They don't understand me. My fish understand. Sorry, everybody. That's my old lady in the comments. Insane liking. Sorry. Yeah. I guess it just depends on what level into your hobby you're at or whatever. This is my everything, man. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I work. I think about my fish. I come home. I interact with my fish. Sometimes I'm not very happy to have to do all these water changes, but I will never regret getting into this hobby. I'll never regret creating Casual Aquatics. The group has been great to me. I appreciate. This is just my chance to shout you guys out. I have an awesome admin team, and I am very grateful of them.
Heck, I talk about this page all the time. Like, this is so, like, right now, like, I've been through so many pages. I've been doing this for like 10 years almost now, and I see every single page well before the point that this page has gotten to just turn into I've had a, I just got a huge tank. It's a 55-gallon, and I've been keeping fish for 6 months. I got 4 Oscars. I know so much more than you. And I'm like, just wait. Just wait.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had,
No.
Like I used to have a 300 deep dimension. Mine busted on me. That thing pushed itself 2 foot away from the wall. Like I've had tanks leak. I've had sumps explode. I've had things catch fire. I've had like my Oscar. I can't tell you how many times he's jumped out of his tank. I don't even keep lids on the tank anymore because he just breaks through them. Like,
right. I mean, how
I'm
many
not.
times have you
I'm
thought
glad
about
mine's
giving
not
up
quite
but
big
kept
enough to
going?
do that yet, because I hear him hitting the lid all the time.
Oh yeah.
He tries to get at the stuff that's like building up on the underside of it. He's like trying to eat
Yeah.
it, and I'm like,
That's
Yeah.
a good
Every time he's in
topic
a new
point,
tank, he
y'all.
jumps.
God, I can't
This
do it.
last time, he almost
Because
died.
my 135 don't have a technical top. I mean, it has that canopy, so I guess
Oh yeah,
unless
you
they
got the
do some,
canopy.
they should be all right. I mean, technically, I guess they could jump up that little. I guess it's probably a foot difference from the
Yeah.
brim of the tank to the top of that canopy, but the only exit is in the back. That's not closed in. You know, it just slides on the brim. So I've never
Yeah, see,
thought about that, honestly.
my Oscar doesn't jump normally. It's only when I'm moving him to a new tank. Like when I moved him to the 210, my 7 foot 210, he it wasn't a week that it wasn't even a week, and I literally woke up because I honestly kind of hate this. It's one of the reasons I don't have any fish tanks other than my little 20 long frog tank in my bedroom. But like I literally woke up out of a dead sleep, and before the Oscar hit the floor, I was already out of bed. And he ended up, 8, 9 feet away from the tank. And by the time I get out there, he literally, I could just see his eye turn to me. He's just looking at me like, yeah, I know, I done fucked up. I'm here again.
Everybody, bear with me.
I've only had
I
one
was
fish jump
outside.
on me
I'm
so
gonna
far, and it
move
was my beta.
inside, so
Yeah.
just
Straight
bear
up
with
jumped
me.
out of the
My
tank
screen is
like before I
going
could
all
do
crazy.
anything. Landed on the floor. I was so
Yeah.
worried about him.
One thing that I have found with fish that jump is like people will always freak out like, oh, you got to get the stuff off of them or what. I'm like, no, I just throw them back in the tank. They will either come off or
Yeah,
they'll scrape it off. I mean, it's better for them just to be in the tank and you not mess with them. They're already losing all their slime coat. Like,
exactly.
and then a few days later, my Oscar jumped again, and oh my god, like yeah, he actually almost died. My Oscar almost died recently. Like it took a 2 or 3 weeks for him to really just come back. He was laying on the bottom of the tank.
Oh,
I'm like, man, I got this. This guy was dropped off in a bucket when I was at my parents' house. My dad calls me or texts me while I was working at Pet Supplies Plus then, and my dad texts me. He's like, hey, you expecting a fish today? I'm like, no, why? He's like, well, and he sends me the picture. It's one of those little 3 gallon PetSmart buckets with a little, 1.5 inch, 2 inch long Oscar in it. I'm like, well, I guess I'm going home. Like, see you guys. But I've had him since then, and like I'm not gonna lie, like I've thought about rehoming him here and there just because he's kind of been an ornery fish. Like even as far as Oscars, he's been kind of a douchebag. But like he almost died. It was the worst case of ick I have ever had. And then he just started his fins just he had almost no fins within a couple days. Everything just he didn't have a slime, he wasn't producing slime coat. And then I started to I was obviously as soon as I saw the stress ick, I'm one of those people that waits first, waits to see if it actually gets crazy. Because if it's stress ick, sometimes it goes away 50-50, sometimes depending on what causes it. But by the next day, he was like almost white with ick. Like it was the craziest amount of ick I had ever seen on any fish ever. Even like minutes before they die from ick. Like this was the worst case of ick I'd seen. You could see it in his gills, you could see it on his eyes, inside of his mouth.
yeah.
Like
No way, bro.
My
yeah,
is the worst that I've seen so far. Like she's a little bit better than she was like yesterday or the day before, but
I don't know if you guys caught any of that. That's my new octagon tank setup officially on
nice.
live. I've showed it a little bit. Did you see those rainbows? Got eggs all over. I don't even know what I'm gonna do with them. I'm just waiting to see if they even hatch. They put some on those leaves and that rock. I'm sorry, I'm not good at angling this camera on this iPad. And then the
Yeah.
fire eel, the
The
weather
rainbow chickens are
loaches.
pretty good at raising their kids.
Yeah, so they won't eat them.
it might take them a time or two before they realize, like, hey, we shouldn't eat those. But like that's most fishes. Most fish that lay eggs that I have come across personally, anyways, they'll lay the eggs and like it may take them a time or two, or they'll do it right away, like discus. Like you actually like it's a lot easier just to let the parents raise the fry. But as soon as they're free swimming, chances are that they're going to eat them the first few times. So
Right.
Ones that are hard are freaking apistogramma, man. Like I
yeah,
had a breeding pair of McMasteri, and like I don't know how many clutches they went through, but every time they ate the eggs. And
yeah.
the
So
breeder that I got some of my angelfish from, he's been trying to breed apistos too, and it's been a good while. And he's telling me every time they lay the eggs, the female eats them. And he's had it with like no other fish in the tank. He's had it with some like
Do what
little
Corey does.
like
Corey will make a hide where only. So basically, like I forget which one raises the fry or like guards them the most, but the male and female, like they're kind of like slightly bigger, one slightly bigger, something like that. But basically he makes it so like they can make, because the pistos like to make an entrance where only one fish can come in and one fish can go out at a time.
yeah, it's
So
usually
like
females.
they'll
That's why I
guard that hole.
can't get in there.
hey guys,
I
I'm gonna
know.
go use the restroom real quick. Pardon me.
Good man. The Corey from Aquarium Co-op. He's got some really good videos on Apistos. I've never dived into Apistos, so
I was trying to breed them, and I ended up with this internal parasite in that tank, and it
yeah.
took out like almost every one of the fish that I had in there, and they went
Uh,
with them. But I have a little opal borelli right now in my
okay.
angel and discus tank, and those ones they stay really small. Like
Yeah, it's still a sweet fish.
like he's a lot smaller than like the
Hey, my phone is about to die. I'm on 1%. Just so you know, if it just goes out, you're on your own. I'm sorry.
oh no.
But yeah, like I've dealt with some stupid stuff, like as far as parasites go. I'm to the point now, like if I see a fish that I know is not going to make it, like I'm obviously going to treat the tank, but like at that point, I've already said my goodbyes, like
Yeah,
a fish will either live or it won't. So
exactly. That's something I definitely noticed. Like angelfish, definitely
yeah,
really prone to those things, and like so a lot of the times, unless you force feed the thing some medication, like it's
yeah. And at that
Speaking
point,
of
like
speaking of angelfish, I don't know much about them. So, what can they be with and what can't they be with? I guess.
if they're
Okay.
not
So,
paired, you can put them with pretty much anything. But as soon as they pair, good luck. They'll kill everything,
all right.
okay,
Yeah.
including each
my
other.
mixed tank, Calvin. Could I get an angel and put in that, or will my mixed tank fuck them up?
It'd probably fuck them
Oh,
up. I mean,
yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so what about my community tank? The one I just showed, the 47-gallon. It's got one blood parrot, a gourmet, but then it's
Nope.
mainly like loaches and stuff. No?
You'd probably have an issue with your Gourami.
Gourmet. My
Yeah, whether your
bad.
Gourami wins or your Angel wins, they probably have an issue with each other. They always do for some reason.
I mean, I have a what's it called? Gold gourami in my 65 with my angels, and the
Really?
gourami kind of chases the angels every once in a while.
I
But,
reckon given enough space to run away or whatever, it might
Yeah.
kind of
right.
work out. Like I've just
My
mean,
been,
angels are also big too.
I've been,
They're bigger than the gourami.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I've been seeing them, considering them. I don't want it to be an impulse, and definitely if it's just going to be ill-fitting. Like, if I could actually do it, then I might consider it. But
I'd try with large angels. Like you got to think an angel's just another cichlid. I mean, they act like I would consider them on like the very bottom end of semi aggressive. Like
Yeah,
I've
my
seen angels
experience, they're
do
more
that.
aggressive towards like other angels than
Definitely, yeah.
cichlids and fish. I've even
And
had
like,
them with guppies. Like I have
yeah,
a little baby, dark green Bulgarian seal point in
wow.
quarantine with my guppies, and it wasn't eating. I thought it was gonna die, but I think that it ate some of the guppy fry that had been
Yeah,
given medicated food. So in turn, it was getting the medication, and now it's
yeah.
eating and doing well. And
Yeah, that's also something I've seen. Like a lot of the older, like I try to get like a lot of the stuff that I get from a lot of the older generation of this hobby. You know, whether
Right.
they've been doing it for 10 years, 20, 30, whatever, because like they know, like they're like, dude, like I know how to treat it. Turn your tank up and put some chemicals in it. You'll be fine. Screw salt. I'm like, okay, and I did that, and within a week, my Oscar started getting all his fins back, and I was just treating just normally, like I normally would with a fish, and or just anything. Like one thing that I've seen a lot of people do is use, like he said, like Richie said, is feeding fish that have medication in them, because a fish does not take as much medication as you're going to give it, especially if it's eating it. Their bodies don't absorb nearly any of it. That's
true,
why you have to dose so
exactly.
heavy. But if a fish that is not eating or only eats live food eats that, well, now it has the medication too.
Yeah,
So
it's
like
what
I've seen the
surprised me. It's like I've been noticing he's been eating more, and I'm like
yeah.
grows a little bit more. Probably throw him in the 65 with everybody else.
Yeah, like I've seen a lot of people with like larger monster fish and stuff like that. They'll cut a silver side, like they were preparing it or something like that for like gutting it or whatever, and they'll put the medication right inside the silver side and just run it like that.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
But like you gave me an idea for just if you're medicating guppies, or whatever, like use that, like it's gonna be throughout their entire body, might as well if they eat enough of it, it definitely gets it.
Right. And then, like
Speaking of
medicated food is just too easy to make.
medication, this is the stuff that I was talking about
I
that
won't
I
ever touch
can
that
use.
stuff.
And why not?
Just because I'm not trying to dye a bunch of stuff blue on accident.
Okay, yeah, my carpet. Look, y'all. When I drop my phone in this big ass tank, Calvin, here's that jaguar. I don't know if you can see him very well because this tank's
That's it.
fucking full of BB. But there's the blue spot.
Oh, I
Yeah,
got one right in front of my feet where I'm sitting right now. I had that bottle. I got about half of it. Thankfully, at the time, I still had
but
my big
talking about
tanks
how
in
this
here.
stuff dyed everything in their tank blue, and I'm like,
It's really not too bad. I don't understand how people do that. Like how it dyes it
Alex,
blue.
what's up, buddy? Click on that
uh,
link. You got
Because
any
like
other
I
tanks
use.
set up?
I mean, it depends on which one you're using. Like if you're using something that's got methylene blue in it, yeah, everything's gonna be a bright blue color. Anything that can absorb the blue is gonna be
right.
blue. But like the melachite green, like it's really, in my opinion, I mean, if it's in the water, I haven't seen it dye stuff. But like your hands, on the other hand, just like with meth blue, your hands are gonna be green. Or like my
Yeah.
floor, I have that bottle that he just showed. I put half that bottle all over all the stuff in my fish room. I had like the little like paper cap on the end of it with a hole in it, so I could just get drips of it out, like just single drops. But I needed a little bit more, so I squeezed it, and the cap came off,
Oh, jeez.
like that little paper cap. Thankfully I had stuff sitting on the floor of my fish room, and I had to throw some things away. I was just like, you know what? Nope, I'm not cleaning it. I'm done. I'm done for the night. I'm done for the week.
Yeah,
I'm
my
getting rid of things.
hands,
Right.
you can kind of tell. Not really. Are stained from that blue shit. It's taken like 3 days to even slowly start coming out. I don't know
And be
how I'm gonna
careful with that
explain it
stuff.
to my landlord. I have a carpet cleaner. I'm trying to slowly pull it out, but I'm
There's
probably
a
paying for new carpet.
there's a few things out there. I can't think of
X.
anything specific right now that takes melachite out, but I know there are things that will get it out of carpet.
Try
Like,
Windex.
Yeah, Windex, stuff like that.
Windex?
Yeah.
Spray the hell out of it
Glass
with spray the
cleaner?
hell out of it with Windex, and then like press a paper towel or towel on it and soak it up. Like
These are
I've
like
got
those
I've
secret
gotten
tips in
soda
the
and like all sorts of
hobby.
stuff out of white carpet with Windex.
Oh yeah. Like heck, I use Perfect Glass because that's what we use for a service. I just learned the other day that stuff kills ants on contact.
What?
Like I killed an entire colony of ants. Like I accidentally I dropped a piece of pizza crust one night. I was in this room playing video games like 3 o'clock in the morning. I come out here and I'm like, oh fuck me, there's ants, and I just didn't know what to do. So I grabbed my glass cleaner and I saw that these ants just stopped moving right away. So I poked one and they're not moving. So I went around anything that I saw in this room. I started using it. I went outside because we got these like weird looking bugs on our front door all the time. I started spraying those things down. They died on contact. I'm like, man, like I've had this stuff in my mouth. Like I hope I'm okay.
Alex, if you could only keep one fish, what would it be?
That's crazy. Even like the raid and other bug killers, they say it kills on contact, but it doesn't. You spray the bug and you watch it just sit there and suffer for like 5 minutes.
Watches and laughs at you as it dies. Like I'm dying, but I'm in spite of you, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, you're looking at the bottle like it says kills on contact, but this motherfucker is like
Like
dead.
this Perfect Glass though, like I sprayed that down and I mean we're not even talking like I literally sprayed it and when it touched them they stopped moving. I'm like, holy crap! So like I stocked up, I got some more for my store and like I just keep this stuff around just in case. Like I'm gonna try it out on some bees this summertime when it gets warm. Like see what happens with them. They're either gonna sting me because they're super upset or they're gonna die. I mean, we'll see.
Here's another fun topic. Do you guys recycle your water changes?
Hell no.
No. I mean, like in the
Do
sense
what?
of, do you reuse your water, repurpose? Maybe I should better word it.
Sometimes
Like,
I use it to like water the plants, but
okay, right.
Every now and then, yeah.
My front lawn. So I live in a duplex off of just like I don't know a main road, if you will, and they have like a sidewalk and a little patch of grass. And then the road, for as far as you can see, there's no grass. But
and then yours.
in front of my house, there's
People's like, "What's your
grass,
secret,
boy."
man? What's your secret?"
And that's from I'll do my water changes through that whole pump right out the door, and the water will hit that grass. So anybody watching this on the replay or whatever, there's multiple uses for your water if you do use it. If you have other hobbies, I just wanted to put that little fun tidbit out there. If you grow flowers or a garden, man, use your tank water.
Yeah, my sister uses her tank water for her gardens.
Like, I swear, I almost considered marketing it. I don't know if it's possible. Like, I got the best water to grow plants.
Heck, there's tank starters out there. I've seen some of the old tank starter bacteria stuff, and like you literally open this thing up, and it literally looks like someone just took their mechanical filtration and squeezed it into a bottle, and you're just like, this is just straight sludge from my filtration, like.
Oh my god!
I've used that stuff. That stuff
y'all,
is great fertilizer.
I gotta try to show you this. Like, I swear. Oh, they mowed it. No way. Somebody mowed it. I swear. You can still probably tell. I don't know how bright this is gonna be. No, my camera's dead as heck. But just from the weeds alone, like, if you can imagine, that whole strip was probably that shallow. But right here, that grass was so tall, it was stupid.
Heck, when I first started keeping fish, like when I got my first 55 gallon, and I was still using buckets because I had no idea about using hoses and stuff like that. But I was using buckets. I'd dump them in my dad's tomato garden, and as soon as I started doing that, he started getting 5+ pound tomatoes. Like every last one of them would get so big that if we didn't get them off, they'd either fall off or they'd pull the vine or pull the plant down to the ground.
All right, I'm going to try to show this tank. No judgment, everybody. I'm sorry. I'm literally, after this live stream, I'm going to do tank maintenance. Like,
I'm already judging you.
It needs wiped down. Yeah, go ahead and judge. But I just
Man,
wanted to
you've seen
show
my
some of
tanks.
these. I just wanted to show some of these beautiful fish of mine that I'm so proud to own and have. I don't know if you can see
Oh,
any
thanks.
of them, but it's definitely got some smudges going on. Damn, that light's so bright. I don't even see how you're seeing any of them.
Oh, the tank is turning purple. Okay. Yeah, give me a second. My phone might die. I'm moving to another tank area. I have tanks.
Yeah, I mean, I want
everywhere.
everybody in the chat. That Jeremy Carnell, sorry, buddy. You need to get up here in this live stream and show everybody your setup because you pretty much got a fish store going on in your basement, buddy.
Hey, Sean.
Yeah.
Here's my little topaz guy.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
I'm so jelly. Look
Yeah,
at
but
him.
look at
What's
this.
up, buddy?
Look at the tank, though.
I don't give a shit.
Everything's algae.
Like that.
You know what? Corey says it best, bro. He wants to grow algae in his tank because if you have algae grown in your tank, stuff should be going all right. I guess I might be saying that wrong. It can be a bad thing, but technically, like if you have algae grown and stuff like that, your tank's functioning. It's doing what it does naturally. Yeah. And like you have a breeding land.
The balance is off and that there's a need for the algae.
Tammy! Hi!
Like I got this guy right here. This thing's filled with algae. I gave up on this tank. Like,
this ain't about me, guys. This is about you. This is about us. This is about
it started off really thick brown algae. And
yeah.
It stopped with that and it started this green hair algae, and then that's been dying off, and I'm just waiting to see.
That's what this stuff. I got a huge clump of green hair on the top, but I just leave it there. I keep track of the parameters on this tank, but as you can see, I used to have like this used to be a high tech tank, you know, like I haven't even ran CO2 on it in probably a couple months, but you know, it's a.
What do you mean a snail wouldn't survive in there, Alex?
But like it's I don't know, I just got this crazy amount of algae in it, and you know, I use an inert
appreciate you
substrate
stopping
on
by
it, so.
anyhow.
And I used too many root tabs. So the hair algae, of course, decided to explode. It was running good for like 2.5 months or so. Looked amazing. I was keeping it trimmed, and then the hair algae was just insane. And I was like, the water's stable. There's no nitrates in it at all. Like whatever.
Nitrates, no ammonia. Like fish are happy. Like.
Yeah.
Oh, so pretty.
I think it mostly comes down to like aesthetics. People think that algae is ugly.
Hey, Sean.
You know.
Yes.
That guy right here. You see him?
Yeah.
I have another one in here. Let's see if I can find him. The guy with the white spots on his head right there. You know, it's a female. She is at least 15 years old.
No.
And then this one right here is around the 12, 13 year mark. Someone dropped them off at the store. And I was like, I just saw him, like literally for almost a week straight, I just saw him sitting nose to nose in the corner of a tank, never moving. And I was like, man, I can't leave those guys there.
Yeah. Those are beautiful. So beautiful. I ain't ready for that. I'm content with my little 7 tanks. I own more than 7 tanks, but currently running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I lied. I have 6 tanks currently running and 1 going dormant with water in it. But at some point, I'll probably have to have some koi, or at least 1 koi. Like, I tell myself, like, I'm not the type of person to just have a single species or single fish tank. Because they need to have homies. But I would probably, like, devote 1 tank to a koi if that's what's needed. Like, especially one of those big ones. Like, Richie mentioned last night, those Japanese koi. I don't know how much they cost. I'm sure they're ridiculous price.
You can get American quality for pretty cheap. But the Japanese, like if you want like show AA or AAA quality, have a few $1,000s ready for
Yeah.
something that's 12 inches long.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
heck, the most expensive fish at auction
Oh,
for
my
the longest time was a kohaku koi or something like that. I just know it was a koi, and that was 1.2, 1.3 million American.
Crazy.
Look at that. The polar blues are out for once.
My polar blue like never hides for some reason.
I just put these guys in a couple weeks ago, and they're like 1.5 inches long, and 2 of them got eaten overnight. So can't really blame them too much, you know.
All right, Calvin. So, or anybody, I'm sure you see me post in the group and stuff. I want to get some clown loaches. Am I going overboard? Like, I think maybe 1 or 2, just to start
schooling
in that
fish, go with-
135.
If you can get them big enough, if you have the money to get them big enough, get like at least 5 of them at the
But
size that
don't
they
they
want to
get
get
like
eaten.
15 inches?
Yes and no. I've seen them there, but most of the ones that I see are usually around, like big wise, are usually about 12.
Okay. Like, I got a guy, I'm trying to talk to a guy. I'm sure you've seen that in the admin chat, that said person. And he's wanting $15 a piece unless you buy 10 or more. And then
How big are they?
he'll do $12 a
Damn,
piece.
phone died.
Those dudes are like
I was waiting for it.
I want to say like
It
4 or
was
5 inches.
Mainly just me and Sean and this guy.
It's fun.
Uh-oh. Calvin getting in trouble by his old lady. No.
Who are you talking to in there?
Tam, did you message that guy about those clown loaches? I need to look at my phone. Like, I looked at pictures in the group. I want to say they're like a good 5 or 6 inches already. They're fat. They're like meaty.
Yeah, I've seen some pretty beefy.
Right, and I don't want to, again, put a fish in there that's obviously going to need a ridiculous amount of space and not be properly homing it, But it could do some real justice for that tank with all the BB and that Daphne and all of that, or however you pronounce that little white thing nuisance that I'm dealing with.
Yeah, the Daphne, definitely.
Oh, Alex! All right.
How many people we got in here now?
What is up, buddy?
So I ain't got much set up right now, but
Hey, that's all right. You just moved. We're just happy to see it. I just want to give everybody a chance to show what they got going on. It's not about me. It's about casual aquatics. I mean, I know I started this group, but I want it to be like, we're kind of like a family, help one another out, share, and, grow. So by all means, show us what you got going on.
if you can see the cichlids or not.
Yeah, a little bit. What are those, Africans?
Yeah,
Little
there's some
OBs?
hybrids, I think. You can't really see the ones with color. And the snapping turtle.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Well,
Alex is who I got my 300-gallon from.
Yep. I just moved all my tanks, all the 10 gallons and stuff.
Yeah. You still have your axolotls?
No,
No.
I've just got guppies and plecos, turtles, and a few reptiles, and the cichlids.
All right.
And there's another planet tank in the house. These are all the males here and all the females over there. There's a couple mollies in here. All this freaking Java moss, dude. It all started from one tiny piece of java moss like 3 years ago.
Damn.
And I gave like 2 big gallon sized baggies away.
It's crazy.
Some of these guppies are from the Kindles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like these, I don't know what he called these ones, and then like these yellow ones up here.
I think that orange one's like a sunburst or something, or I'm not sure. Yeah, they have some nice fish.
I
My
had
albino
2 pink
bristles came from
flamingos.
that.
I was trying so hard to breed them out, but they died before I could get any baby.
Yeah, I have a hard time with calling. Like I feed the turtles some of them, but I need to get some of my skinnier ones out, like these ones that aren't shaped right.
Right. I tried to have guppies. I have a few in my community tank, but they don't quite thrive. But it ain't your normal community tank, I guess. So, you know.
Yeah, that's why I like this Java moss, because those little babies, man. I mean, you won't even see them in there. They'll be so deep in it.
Right.
Man, I showed it earlier in the stream, this octagon tank behind me. I'm trying to get it all planted out. And I had a bunch of plants. Now they're all floating and stuff or whatever. But I'm literally trying to buy up so much plants, it's retarded, without going completely broke. I even want to get my 135 having plants in it, and I know that's near impossible. That has Oscars in it, but I'm gonna try, and I'm gonna try to succeed because plants are so good for your tank. They're just, how can you go wrong?
Get a bunch of like jungle val or Italian val. Stuff will grow really fast. Awesome.
Population control right there.
What kind is that?
It's a common snapping turtle.
All right.
It's hard to get him up on the camera.
He's a cool looking little dude. Here, hold up. I can give you the main screen. Everybody can see him.
Yeah, it's hard to show him.
Really cool.
He doesn't get held. Got a soft shell I can show you too.
Yeah, did you end up selling? Didn't you have a side neck, or maybe that wasn't you? I'm not sure. I was asking about it.
That I'm trying to give away.
Oh, okay, yeah. Anybody watching this live stream, Alex has a turtle he's trying to get away. If you really want it, hit me up in the comments, and I'll make that communication happen.
I wish I could take a turtle.
It's not
I used to have red ear sliders growing up.
Man, I had a red ear named Franklin.
You might see me get bit.
Oh. See, I want one.
You got like a blue belly. Look at her belly.
Yeah. You're up on the main screen. Everybody's seeing you, dude. This turtle's cool as shit. Look.
Got that camouflage on it. That pattern.
Pretty cool.
Her neck is like super long. She'll bite the crap out of you. Yeah, that's I get like 14 inches though. It's definitely a long-term thing. But I got it from some lady that her boyfriend caught that and a musk turtle out of the wild. And she was in college, so couldn't keep them. You're not allowed to re-release now. And you can't sell a wild caught. So it's something you have to give away.
What's tank requirement?
They need like shallow basking area. They don't really come up out of the water, but like I'll show you what they're in right now. So see how she's digging down in there? They stay buried like that when this water is not very deep, so she's always getting the UV. But normally you can build like a shelf on the tank, just like glue a piece of plexiglass in there right below the surface and put some rocks or sand over. Yeah, they gotta have either real fine gravel or sand because that's how they like shed
Kind
their
of right.
Same with like a snapping turtle. They want to have some sand because they don't really come out the best. They stay wet all the time, so their shell doesn't shed as easily.
And just to be clear, which one did you say you was wanting to get rid of?
The soft shell. It's a spiny soft shell.
All right. Jamie, all you got to do is click that link, buddy, and it should put you in the backstage. It'll have you set up your stream. Yeah, I think you're there.
Try to get the light out of the camera.
Hey, buddy, what's up?
How's it going?
Hey, I'm glad you stopped in, man. Here in a second, you can go ahead if you want and just kind of give everybody a rundown of your little setup, what you got going on, discuss whatever you want about it, and go from there. As I'm sure you've heard me say in it, and I'll say it a dozen times, this is about everybody, not just me. This is Casual Aquatics, and I would not be Casual Aquatics without the group. So I thank every single one of our members and every single one of you that decide to stop in rather during the live or watch it on the replay when I post it in the group. So thank you very much, man.
Well, pretty much it's going to be kind of hard to see. I've been adding and moving tanks around, 75s and 55s. I pretty much just do a bunch of breeding, trading, and selling. A 10-gallon setup. The tanks are nasty. I've been pretty busy.
Hey, that's all right. What are those again, just for everybody that don't know? 40 breeders, or what you got going on there?
These are my 10-gallon that I use for holding. Like if I got a female that's holding, like I got some in here, and I'll put them in here out of the tank so that way I can control how many fry I'm going to end up with for when they spit. They basically double as grow-out tanks. Then I've got my 20-gallon long can also double as a grow-out. I keep guppies, mollies, electric yellows, zero obliquidins. I got my 40 gallons also in this rack.
I'll give Jeremy a real quick shout out. This man has the best shrimp and the best prices. So if anybody's looking for some shrimp, y'all need to hit him up on Casual Aquatics at Facebook. Look him up. But sorry, my bad, man. Continue.
Well, I got my 200 gallon that just throw miscellaneous in.
Ooh, was that Adobe or Red Devil?
Do what?
Is that fish right there? Is that a Doveye or a Red Devil?
That one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Texas.
Oh, wow. He's nice looking.
They got some Texas cichlids in over at the Petco that I go to. I've been eyeing them for a little bit. Those in the turquoise jewels.
Oh, yeah. I've seen some big, beautiful ones of those.
Just try to go through a slow little.
Yellow Labs. like that driftwood. Or
Right.
is that just like a decoration?
That's driftwood.
Man, that's a log, boy.
Then my infamous sump over here.
Doesn't say you got a central sump, don't you?
Yeah. I keep some jewels in there to help out with keeping the food and all that gets down through the pipes. And they help keep the snail population down.
Is it jewels?
Let's see.
Ooh.
75 go out.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping, man. I'm supposed to be, I guess dreaming, but I'm talking to a buddy about getting a house, and it has a basement, and I'm hoping to pretty much have a setup like you got going on.
Upstairs.
So we're closing on a house now. It's got a 2-car garage. I'm about to do it
Right,
up.
right. You know it.
I've already got my the air system going. So just need to get something set up.
Nice.
Oh, little clown. I didn't even know you had a salt setup going on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I had a 75 down. I was like, you know what, this is kind of pointless, so I took it down to a 20 tall. And y'all were talking about having algae growth earlier and all this other crap.
Yeah.
I got that string algae going in this tank.
I'm just saying, for anybody that like watches this on the replay, like if you have algae in your tank, don't necessarily freak out right away, because it could potentially mean you, as Alex said, you got a lot of maybe excess nutrients, but you got some good stuff going on. Maybe you just got to kind of tame it down or get some fish to eat that algae, or
Yeah, more like fast-growing plants. That's what's going to help you the most.
Mm.
If you add more fish, then you're adding more nutrients, and that's going to make it work.
Hey, Sean, what's up?
Hey, buddy. Phone died.
Phone died again. It's gonna die again, but we'll see.
You're okay. I'm not sure how much longer I'm gonna run it. I'm grateful for this long. I'm grateful for this many people. I keep trying to share in all of our groups. I'm sure y'all are seeing me share. I try to share on my platforms. That's the most I can do, and I only hope that maybe a random person checks YouTube Live and is like, I'll see what's up. But honestly, like I said, I wanted this to be more or less about casual aquatics, man. You guys helped me make casual aquatics. I only know so much, but together, the group, we know a lot. And as long as we all keep that fundamental, you know, nobody's better than somebody else, firstly. I don't care if you've been in the hobby 50 years or 50 minutes, you know. Nobody's better than the next guy. They might be more educated, but that don't make them better. And it's what they do with their knowledge and education that really counts. Are they a self-absorbent like snob, like, oh, I know better, you just need to give up or whatever? Or do they pass the message and teach somebody and help them grow in the hobby and then, you know, spread the hobby? So it ain't about me. It's about us. It's about the hobbyist. And I know I'm a nobody, but hopefully me being a nobody, somebody can relate or be on our level. Like, these are real people. They're not big names or whatever. And even if someday, hypothetically, we do become that big, the group that has 100,000 people and 100,000 followers, I still want to be the same person. I still want to be down to the level. I want to answer everybody in the comments and all of that. I see he done lost his phone again, so, but yeah. Honestly, we've been live for going out. Oh, he's back, or Jeremy's back. I don't know who I lost. I had the stream.
It is feeding time up in this.
Feeding time.
Go on.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Once I get off here, I need to do a little bit of tank maintenance on a few of my tanks. Make sure everybody's doing okay, and I need to clean my house. Honestly, I get one day off, Sunday, and it's hard to get everything done in one day.
Hey, Sean, you want to check something out real quick?
What's that?
Alexa, turn pump on. Drain straight into the floor. Goes to a pump that I have got hose run to
Heck yeah.
for my powered gravel vac, pretty much.
That's, I mean, with my little pump, I pretty much drain it straight to the tub, or as I said earlier, straight out the door, and my grass is growing 3 foot tall.
But I've gotten kind of lazy, and I went and invested in those smoke plugs,
Yeah.
and that's how I control all my lights.
Okay.
Like, Alexa, turn rack off.
No.
Alexa, turn rack on.
That is too cool. I
got a little lazy.
I got those
Awesome.
Wi-Fi smart plugs off of Aquarium Co-op on some of my tanks, so I can control it by my phone. But I haven't tried to like enable Siri. I don't know if that works. So that would definitely, if and when I move and get that house and start becoming the crazy fish guy, that'll be the kind of setup I want. And I will be messaging you like, hey, how exactly do you have your setup?
Yeah, actually, while everybody's on here, I'll go ahead and dip in behind the tanks real quick, and I'll show you my like really lousy plumbing job. I am not a handyman at all.
And I'm going to have to get with Alex on setting up my 300, because he showed me pictures of how he had it set up. And I pretty much want to imitate the same setup.
Yeah, this is how the turtle.
I can control. I can control my output for my lower level.
Keep my cat from drinking from there.
Yeah.
That.
Right.
This is the funny part of the fish room. It's some junk ass shed.
Hey, I mean, it works.
It's like a couple $1,000s worth of fish crap.
This is at the new house or your old
No,
house?
this is still the one we're renting.
Right, I was about to say, it looked familiar.
Yeah, that's why it's all out.
Bro, I would get lost in your little shed. If I could have that shed at this duplex, I'd probably set up my 300.
Yeah. It does for now, but I'm about to have a 2-car garage. It's gonna pop off then. I have my ponds set up.
Yeah, you'll have to hop on here then and definitely show it up.
There's got one of my turtles dry docked right now because she got a chunk taken out of the side of her.
I'm assuming another turtle.
Yeah, that was a yellow belly slider, and then that's a Russian tortoise down there, and then bearded dragon. Yep.
Richie, how long have you had your electric blue Jack Dempsey now? Like, from the point of me taking the video, like, shortly after that, I literally bought me one, and he's probably only about an inch, if I'm guessing right now. Like, how long have you had yours, and how big is it?
Okay, see, I got mine back in October, and I had him in this 29-gallon tank. So I thought he would grow some, and then I would move him. But for some reason, he didn't really grow that much while he was in the 29. He got to about an inch and a half, almost 2 inches, but when I put him in the 65, I noticed like right away he started growing like a little quicker. You know, instead of like 3 inches.
I might need to go ahead and move mine to my 55 then, because I have him in that 47, and it's quite congested with smaller fish overall, but he's probably at that about inch mark. When I first got him, he was tiny, and I just knew that my mixed tank would eat him up. So that's why I put him in that community tank. And I even had people comment, "You have an electric blue Jack Dempsey in a community tank?" Oh, yeah, I do,
Right.
because he's half an inch long, you know?
Yeah, you just gotta watch him.
But,
Once he grows some balls, we'll tear some stuff up.
right.
And mine doesn't really bother with any of the other fish. He just
Ooh,
kinda,
that's a
like,
pretty snail.
that's my favorite of all of my little red racer Nerites.
No way. I used to think I wouldn't like snails, but I'm loving them, man. I got a bunch of mysteries. I got one that's probably half the size of a freaking softball. He's
I
getting
have a bunch
big.
of chickens here. That's my biggest one back there. He's a purple. But I had one.
Uh-oh, I think I lost signal.
There's the shell of my biggest one. She laid one clutch that gave me a couple of babies. I got a bunch of little guys stirring about in here.
I have snails that are breeding for sure, so I'll probably have more clutches. I had one clutch happen in a 20-gallon, and then I emptied that tank, and like it had no filter or nothing. And I feel like the clutch is drying out, so I think I lost them. But in all of my other tanks,
That's my biggest of the babies.
Ooh.
Like that one's huge compared to all the other ones.
Yeah.
You guys want some good algae control? Siamese algae eaters, like the best I've had so far.
I have two. What are they? What's the golden version of them? I got two of the golden ones in this octagon tank. I was stupid. I tried to buy Siamese for my mixed tank because I thought they, were aggressive and they get bigger. And I feel like my pike ate them.
Yeah, probably. And they do get bigger over time, but not as big as like a Chinese algae eater.
You can kind of see the angel that's been living with my guppies.
Thanks for hopping in, Jeremy. I appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah.
Finally got some neon tetras that didn't have any issues.
Yeah? What is that, a little tote pond? Or tote tank?
What's that?
Yeah. Oh, I just said, is that like a tote pond or a tote tank?
This is a 40-gallon. It's in the... I don't know what all you can see. But...
this is a little tote pond. Put these guppies. That turned out to be a good little quarantine spot to put that angelfish.
Well, you got a valve in there? The plant?
Oh yeah, that I pulled it out of my 75-gallon tank because it was one of my Oscars uprooted it, and I just threw it in there and here. So see it. So I've found that Valda's all right if it's floating, but not for very long. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Wah, wah, wah.
Fish bites, huh?
Wah, wah.
Oh.
Oh, man.
Save what you can, or just give up.
Wasn't paying attention and knocked it over.
Well, everybody, we have been live for 2 hours, and I absolutely could not have done it without y'all. I can't say it enough. I hope you guys can sense the sincerity when I talk to y'all in the admin chat and the group. I really appreciate everything that you guys do for Casual Aquatics. Everybody that's stopped in to the actual live and commented and engaged, thank you very much. Shout out to Big Tank Hank and Benny's Aquatics. I didn't expect you two to pop in, and that was awesome. Calvin, thank you. Alex, Richie, Tam, Jeremy, everybody. Curiosities. I appreciate everybody. I know my shows might not be all what's popping like everybody else's, but I just want to talk fish, y'all. If you ever have any topics or whatever, or just have something you want to show or whatever, get a hold of me. We'll make something happen. Once again, Richie and Alex, y'all hung out through the long haul. So I really appreciate you guys, but I think I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream.
All right, yeah, man. Have a good one. It was fun.
Yep. Take it easy, man.
Yep. Bye, y'all.
Bye.